Robert, this is the third time you play in Paleo.
Oui.
Do you remember the first time have a special relation or feeling with this festival?
I remember the second time. I'm not sure I remember the first. It was the first time 85.
85?
Yeah. No, actually, I have a very vague memory. In 1985, The Cure did some festivals throughout Europe, and Paleo was one of those festivals that we suddenly became this band, and it was like it almost like happened on stage. We suddenly turned into a band. So yeah, but I'm not sure if it's a real memory. You know, it's one of those memories that you wish was true. I felt we were floating when we played those shows, but it's probably the drugs. I don't know. I remember 2002 being very disappointed with 2002. I thought we weren't very good in 2002. We tried quite hard, but we just didn't. I don't know. That lineup of that band was able to play fantastic shows, but for some reason, some of the festivals, maybe it was my fault, maybe it was the wrong set, the wrong songs. You know, just it never really felt that good. It was quite strange tonight actually, because every other festival in Europe has given us a minimum of 2 hours. Most have given us 2.5. Most have given us 3 actually, and we all felt slightly disturbed by having to just play the set and then finish. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good concert tonight, so I'll remember this one.
There was the Cure mania with some people really big fans and a new generation of fans. And what is your opinion about them?
I think the days of what you would call Cure mania thankfully, from my perspective, they're gone. I think that only happens if you can only engage with an artist of your own age in that way, I think, to dress like them and kind of be like them, because you're living the same life, you know, you're growing up at the same time. Our audience now, I mean, is much more diverse. I actually prefer it, I have to say, although I would because I'm older, you know. It would be fucking weird if people were still dressing up as me. I mean, you know, there's only room for one of me at my age. But it's actually disturbing in some ways to see how young the audience is that knows it's us. You know, whether it be at the concert or at airports or wherever, like in the street. But at the same time, it's so disturbing. It's actually really gratifying to think that we're still attracting like a younger generation.
What is for you to play this song 35 years after the composition?
Well, most of them, most of the old Cure songs, I am still able to connect with like who I was then. I think I was very old before my time, really. When I look back at the words that I wrote when I was 17 years old, I think I was probably older than I am now. You know. I actually feel less anguish about living.
You're touring with no new album this year.
No.
Why?
There are a number of reasons. The main reason, the driving force behind us playing is really because I just wanted to play some shows. It doesn't matter. We're not signed to anyone, and there is no new record. But it doesn't really matter. I like the idea of playing some shows. There are background reasons as to why we haven't played for a couple of years. When things happen outside, they have to be lived. You know, I want the group to be something that everybody falls into and loves as much as I do. I don't want to force what we do. I don't want to get like young people in so I can go and sing to people and release a new album. It's stupid. Like, we've released enough music. If I don't ever release another album, I'll still be happy. But I would be happier if we bring out something new. But what we do shouldn't be contingent on something new. You know, we're a group. We play music. I sing. You know, I just felt I wanted to sing this summer, so we didn't manage to get anything finished.
For you, when you choose the songs to play, do you sing to your own pleasure or do you also sing to your fans?
This summer, I think. It's much more about the audience than it's ever been. Yeah, I'm very aware. The thing is, if we're given 3 hours to play, we can please everyone because we can play like 35, 37 songs. if you walk away from that and you haven't heard what you want, you're at the wrong fucking concert. You know. Tonight was quite difficult because we're like less than 2 hours. It's like, which is why we did quite a strange set. Putting Love Cats and Close to Me in the set was about the audience. It was about the festival. You know, you sort of want to draw people in. I think. I mean, I've always felt that, but maybe when I was younger, I was a bit more difficult. Simon might say. I wanted my enjoyment to be paramount. I had to enjoy what we were doing. Whereas now there are moments when I can see the audience reacting to Friday I'm in Love or Love Cats, and I think it's worth it because they're enjoying it, you know. So I've kind of realised that other people's enjoyment is as important as mine. It sounds like some kind of fucking psychiatric session.
A lot of musicians always talk about you like an influence, and you also do a tour some years ago with new bands like Interpol, Mogwai. And what's your relation with new music? Do you listen to a lot of rock music today, new bands and things like that, or are you into something different now?
I don't listen to as much new music as I used to, because it's kind of a dumb reason, but actually a good reason for me. I transferred all my CD collection onto my iPod. I have about more than 15,000 songs on there, and I realised as I was doing it that I did it myself. Sat there and I was looking, I would be reading, and I think like I haven't listened to this for 20 years, and so I started listening. I've said this before, but I mean it's true. I started listening at A. I just put it on A when I'm at home, and I just listen to stuff. And I'm on F, which isn't very much further than I was when the last time I said it. I think I was on E or something. There's a lot of music on my iPod. There's a lot of songs, and sometimes I hear a song and I want to hear it like again and again. So you know that kind of fucks up the sequence. No, I'm on H. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm on H because I got to Billie Holiday, and I've been listening to Billie Holiday pretty much all summer because it's like it's fantastic. Like her back catalogue is like almost as good as ours. It's genius. It's like it's so. You could almost listen to. When I was young and I first knew about Billie Holiday, I was probably about 15, and I didn't want to listen to anything else, and I've reached that point again. I just listened to her and Django Reinhardt and the Hot Club. That's like all I listen to. It's just like jazz, and it's So is the new Cure album going to be influenced by it? No, it is not. But that's what I'm listening to all the time. So there's almost no room in my head for new music, and it doesn't really matter because I don't think that new music should be aimed at someone like me. You know. It doesn't really matter if I know who's who. I mean, quite often I'm looking at the festival bills. I kind of know who someone is. Sometimes I don't know. If I don't know who it is, I look them up. I listen to it, and I've discovered a couple of some good artists that have been playing. But I've seen some good people in the last few weeks. I almost feel uncomfortable responding to a young band playing. I mean, the XX, for example, I've known about obviously for like a long time. They were great when they like a few weeks ago, and I saw. I mean, I was really surprised at how good they were on stage, and the response they got was fantastic. And I thought, should I be liking this much? It's the emotion that's there. There is something in the songs that attracts me. So, in the same way that young people like The Cure, old people like The Cure like young music. I mean, it's that. It's just if there's emotion in a song, and if the singer conveys that emotion, you can't help but react to it.
What do you feel to know that something that you wrote has still a place in the mind, in the heart of someone that listened to it 5, 10, 20 years ago?
Yeah, it doesn't make any difference. That's time and age makes no difference. There are some things that we've done that I think are like genuinely, they work so well. There's certain songs, and I can understand. I mean, I myself am drawn into it. I loved singing Disintegration Again as an album. I thought it was like, I could remember how intense I was at the time and how desperate I was for it to be the perfect album. It's great poetry, great music, great literature. It's universal.